Hello, Star Wars and unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba, Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba, and this is a double whammy episode. As you can see, we've got plenty of merchandise to unbox, or mostly unbox. I'll get to that statement in a minute. But we also have my spoilerific review of Solo: A Star Wars Story. So we are now we've just completed, at the time of this recording, we just completed 1 week of, oh, and by the way, there's also going to be, we have our giveaway with the Han Solo dice. That will be announced at the end of this episode, okay? So, again, if you left a comment on the Solo review mobile episode, I will put all of them together, I will make a choice, and I will release it and tag it on the end of this video, okay? So, wait till the end for that. But my spoilerific review. So I've seen the movie twice now. I'm planning to see it a third and probably a fourth or even a fifth time if I can in the theater, depending on schedule and where it's available. See, I'd understand where I film and where I live. There is not a theater. I have to drive a minimum of 25 to 30 minutes to get to a theater, a good theater, actually any theater. And sometimes that's a little bit. Adding an hour to an hour and a half of your day, of your event, to drive to something takes a little time, especially when you're working a job and have other things going on. So, but I said my initial review is that it was just a fun ride. It was an amazingly fun ride, and my second review now that I've seen it the second time is no different. I walked out of that theater wanting to see it again, and I don't know what other better compliment I can give. It doesn't have the weight or gravitas of an episodic, Force Awakens or Last Jedi, but it does indeed have a fun story and a fun adventure. And it's just a wonderful Star Wars adventure that fits in the universe. So I really enjoyed that. Some of the spoiler-esque things I thought were really great. Let's just talk about the big one first, Darth Maul. Or I should just say Maul. Maul appearing at the end of it. Now, I am a connoisseur of the animated series, both Clone Wars and Rebels. I watched every episode. I am not as attached to them as I am the movies, but I do enjoy them, and I do watch them when they're on TV, and I do make sure I've seen every episode at least once. And just to follow, because I knew it was canon, I wanted to follow with the storytelling that happened with, at least as far as the movies and the animated shows were concerned. And I gotta say that I thought it was a brilliant move. I think it was awesome to see Lucasfilm give such a huge shout out to the prequels. I grew up with the prequels. I love the prequels. I didn't love every moment of the prequels, but I didn't hate any moment of the prequels. That's me. If you differ, you're entitled to your opinion. Good for you. All right, but I want to spread the love of Star Wars and the love of the things that I loved about Star Wars over the internet, because it seems like these days there just seems to be a lot of loud negativity. I don't think it's the majority. I think it's just loud negativity, and that's just my opinion. But I loved the inclusion of Darth Maul. In fact, when you think about the timeline, really think about the timeline, I feel like if you're going to make a big reveal, and you've already kind of met a small reveal with the big shot gangster in Tatooine putting together a team, you're talking about Jabba. Well, this can't be the same character. So if you've tipped your hand to that, then the only character you can truly have it be is, a character that somehow bridges the gaps. Now, they could have created a new one from out of nowhere, but that would have made that reveal kind of empty. So I think it was a great move. I think it also added a little bit of gravitas to the very end of this movie, setting it up kind of like a lot of people are equating it to like the Marvel post-credit scene, but they didn't want to do perhaps a Marvel post-credit scene because they didn't want to steal from Marvel. By the way, just a heads up. Marvel was, just a side note about that. I'm hearing a lot of people saying that was Marvel's thing. Marvel did that. Come on. People know what originally happened with that. Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean was the movie, I believe, or at least it came earlier than Marvel, to originate the whole Easter egg post-credit. Okay, not that it was, I think Marvel took it to a level of being new story. I think they were the ones who originate actual story elements that would either change the ending of the movie you just watched or set you up for another movie. All right? I don't think Star Wars wanted to repeat that, so instead they just tacked it to the very end of the movie, which I think is great. Some people were saying, I guess this sparks a sequel. Nah, I don't know if it will. Maybe it will. Maybe there will be a sequel with Solo that Darth Maul, or I should say, I keep saying that. It's no longer a Darth, he's just Maul. But I really feel that at the end of the day, it could set up any other standalone film, like perhaps an Obi-Wan film, or another character, or even Boba Fett that they've just announced is getting some traction. Okay, so who knows? Who knows what it's going to be? But brilliant, loved it, got me so excited. The John Powell score that took a lot of John Williams elements, and put them in at the right appropriate times, including Duel of the Fates. Again, loving for the prequel. That's shout out to the prequels of the 90s and the early 2000s. That's fantastic. Connects everything together. Beautiful. Also loved all the Easter eggs, like the shout out to Bosk, shout out to Aura Singh about Tobias pushing off Aura Singh. I just thought like there was enough little nuggets in there. I liked that they checked off some of those boxes of how Han and Chewie met and the Falcon, but they didn't give it to you the way exactly that the Legends, expanded universe did. Okay, they gave it to you a little bit. There's one thing that they didn't really go through, and that was the Chewbacca's life debt. Personally, they could put that in a later movie. Great. If they don't, I still love it. Okay, to me, the life debt idea, it seems like all that's really doing is tethering Chewbacca to Han Solo until Han's death. Okay, where I feel that Chewbacca just might... Why does it have to be a life debt? Why can't it just be loyalty? Having loyalty to your friend. Okay, they got out of a skirmish, fake fight in the mud to get out together, and they found that they had a good rhythm together, and they became partners. I think that's a viable enough thing. You don't need the whole life debt thing. But if they put it in later, great. And if they don't, if they explain it in a book or a comic book, fine. But if they, I'm fine with it the way it is. Anyway, this is not really a review show. It's really supposed to be an unboxing show. But I just wanted to get it out there. So cool. So much fun. Can't wait to see it again. I don't think my one little review to the small amount of people who watch this will matter much in the terms of box office numbers. I do want to address that. Folks, let it go. Okay? With Star Wars, this is just my opinion, with Star Wars being much more in the forefront, it is no longer going to be that tentpole movie. It's still going to make lots of money, but it isn't going to be that, $2 billion a film kind of thing. If they wanted to do that, they would have only released one movie every 5 years or 10 years. They would have built up that excitement for each of those movies, but they don't want that. Okay? They want the stories to expand, to go into different little parts. And to do that, just like with Marvel, it's going to have some big moments and some smaller moments, and then they're going to have big moments again, and they're going to have, I'm sure they're going to work their way up to some grand, like, Infinity War thing where lots of things will come together, and they'll build everything up to that, and it'll become an amazing event, and those movies will do, like, crazy amounts of money, and there you go. I think this whole box office, I don't think it's a failure. I don't think it's a flop. I'm sure that the box office numbers for the first weekend didn't go as well as they would have liked. That happens. But I'd be very curious to see what happens at the conclusion of the run of Solo in theaters. I think that it's going to do more. It's going to do more money, and it's going to have a respectable thing just by word of mouth. Because there's not a lot of people that hate this movie. There's not a lot of people who dislike this movie. Most of the people that I've spoken to like this movie or like most of this movie. So I think word of mouth is definitely spreading that this is a good movie. All right, so we shall see what happens. But love it. If you haven't seen it, go see it. If you're bitter because of The Last Jedi, this is a different movie. It's not even part of that story. Go see it, judge for yourself. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But it's not an investment of like craziness. It's just a backstory, an origin story for Han and Chewie. If you don't like it, you never have to touch it again after this. Okay, but go see it. All right, so what do we got here? We got a funny story. A friend of mine picked up for me the Force Link 2.0 starter set. Okay, now I will warn you. Okay, there is an upload and a thing that has to happen with this. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do today is unbox this, okay? And then I'm going to pause the video because I do believe that there is an app uplink you need to do. And I understand that there have been some issues with it. I'm hoping that they work, okay? We shall see. But, we'll do our best with it. And if it doesn't work, we'll just do the unboxings and maybe we'll see what we can get later on. So, obviously, for those who don't know, the Force Link is a beautiful device that Hasbro came up with. Here is it's probably going to turn on, but here's the original from last year. And it is essentially a device that will give you guys a sound clips for the figures. And what I love about this is that it is something that is an upgradable technology. Okay, it is something that you can then have playable features with your action figures that don't involve batteries and heavy compartments and stuff inside the action figures, or even the vehicles. That it all comes from the technology in this little box. I think that's fantastic. I think that it allows you to keep the playable factors of the toys without having there be a lot of bulkiness to the figures. Okay, so I've been a big fan of these, and you can take it or leave it. And another thing is, less batteries in your toys themselves means that there's less things you have to worry about. You know, from an adult perspective, from a display perspective. You know, I have a bunch of toys in my display. I got to take all, and none of them work. I mean, none of the electronics work because I have to pull the batteries out. All right, and because otherwise, you know, after years and years, the batteries are going to corrode. So it's going to be a challenge. All right, let's just see if this thing. Okay, turns on. Good. All right, now I don't know. Let's see if anything happens just right out of the gate before I double check this thing. We have our Han Solo figure. Okay, and again, I'll insert some close-ups and everything. Let's see what happens.
They call me Han Solo. This better be worth it. I don't run from a fight. Huh. I've got a really good feeling about this.
Oh, I'm so glad he says that.
This better be worth it. I don't run from a fight.
Oh, I just realized his blaster. Ooh, good thing I caught that. He's got his blaster. He's making a lot of noise with it. I'm gonna put his blaster away in his little holster. Side note, awesome little extra that the Hasbro folks came up with.
They call me Han Solo. We've got company. I've got a really good feeling about this.
All right, so really cool.
Blast him. Okay, stay sharp.
Okay, so actually that works pretty well. Now, I'm looking to see if there is anything about upgrade because now I'm looking at it. Synced. Oh, to sync 2 gauntlets for social play. Oh. So well, by the way, I didn't finish my story. I have not, my friend who bought me this, I have not been able to get a hold of him, get together with him. We've tried to see the movie once, we wasn't able to do it, trying it again. So finally I gave up. I just said I really wanted to get an unboxing. So I got one, and I figured if he gave me the other one, I would either return it and give him the money back or whatever. But now it says that you can actually have 2 together. So maybe I will keep the second one and have them sync together. So that's pretty cool. All right, so there might be some stuff. Download the Hasbro Force Window to activate figure sounds, track figure play, and level up. Okay, so you know what? Since this seems to be working out of the gate, I am going to keep the video running, and I will do an upload a little bit later. Okay, so I'm going to slowly start to move some things out of here because there are going to be a lot of boxes that I need to deal with. And I know this video is going to run a little long, so thank you for your patience. Okay, so I'm going to do some of the bigger things out of the way first. And I'm going to talk about this one, all right? Now, mind you, I'm not a completist by any means. But when I see something that's interesting, something that looks a little different, unique, I sometimes want to pick it up and just see what we got, okay? And this is a Millennium Falcon toy. It's just like a smaller version of it. Obviously, it's not one for the figures. It's really just meant to be one for just some, ship play, and I get that. Some people are complaining, well, it's like a waste of money. It's like, you know what, guys? It's all right. Maybe for some people, that huge Falcon is just way too much money. It is a $99 price point. That's a little bit pricey for some people, may not be able to get that. So this is just a simple, interesting. The nice thing about having my new mic set up here is that I don't have it right here, so it's not getting too, alright, so that's pretty much it. Okay, cool. Just comes with this little, it's like a little setup. It's got its little, there you go. So you have its little thing. Oh, it's kind of cute. It's got its little landing gear. It's a very kind of low-key toy. I can't remember the price on this one. It's kind of a flimsy plastic, so I don't know how much it works for that, but, it does have some basic stuff to it. I do enjoy the, I think if you want to have this thing launch, you just press it. There you go, and to launch its escape pod. I like that idea. I do wonder if there are, we know after The Last Jedi that there's actually another escape pod, so we'll see. But now, what I want to see is a lot of this comes with, there's our thing, so if I...
Firmware update required.
Ah, there it is.
Update required.
Firmware update required. Okay, that's the thing. So maybe what I'll do is I'll run through the video, I'll get through everything that works without the firmware update, and then I will maybe tack that stuff onto the end, okay? Or maybe we'll do a part 2 to this since it's going to run long. All right, but, for a ship itself, it's kind of cool. As I said, it is a little bit flimsy, okay? So I do feel that that's something that, could have been improved upon. But then again, if this was like a $5 or $10 toy, I would have understood that. But I think this was closer to $30. So for that, I think that it could have been a little bit more. So, not necessarily a good thing. Although, if you like the Falcon, you like the new look of the Falcon, but you don't want to make the huge investment of the $99 Falcon, and you don't have the room for it, this is really something nice. You can hang it. It's very light, so you can hang it, and it can be kind of like doing the Kessel Run in your basement or something. That would be kind of cool. In fact, I might actually do that. I might actually find a little corner to hang this, out of the way, because it's really a cool kind of display piece. All right, but I will set it up and do some of the other stuff. Now, let's talk about... Okay, let's talk about this button. Emphy's Nest. All right, Emphy's Nest. Love that character. Love where they went with that. Love that it started off as a competitor, and it turned out to be kind of the beginning of the rebellion, or part of the rebellion. And Han ended up helping them, so you kind of foreshadow. Didn't want to join them fully, but did give them a hand. Really cool stuff. So, and I do like it, the little swoop bike. I'm really happy that they are... really sticking with their guns about the the speeder technology and swoop and speeder bike technology. It fits in with this time period, so that's really cool. Now I wonder if there is a spoiler in this, because they did not take the mask off, and I was curious about that. I figured they wouldn't, but
Firmware update required.
Oh,
Firmware update required.
are you
Firmware
serious?
Update required.
All right.
Firmware update required. They call me Han Solo.
All right.
This better be worth it.
Yeah, this better be worth it. Let's just...
Firmware update required.
All right, you know what, guys? I'm going to pause right now. I want to do this firmware update. I have heard that there's some issues, so if there are some issues, we will just go with what we have, and we'll just do the unboxing. But I really want to see what this thing is up against. I will say, in terms of the speeder bike, really like this. Really like what they did with it. It's plain, simple, okay? We can put Emphy's Nest on it. And again, it's kind of old school in the sense that it doesn't have, it's only got the 5 points of articulation, which makes it very challenging to put on to speeders and stuff, but they kind of design it to mostly stick with that. So, I just want to get him, come on, get the hand in there. Okay. No, doesn't want to work. All right, so we're going to have to either hold it steady, like that. He does come with a little weapon, but I don't think she can hold the weapon and hold the bike. So we might have to just keep that on the side. But again, I'll get some more close-ups with that, okay? And the only other thing is that it's kind of wobbly, so you got to be careful with that. All right, so we'll pause the video here, and then I'll get the firmware update going, and we'll see how we do when we come back. Okay, so after about 2 hours, I've gotten our update. So we're going to just try experimenting with this and see how it works. It's a pretty cool setup. Let's try, first let me get out Emphy's Nest here. And
Bring me their weapons. Let's move out. It's time to bring up some credits.
now it's interesting.
Bring me their weapons. Man you have here is Michael.
Yeah, that's interesting. You can actually look on the site. I'll throw some of this up here as some imagery, and there are ways that you can kind of align your figures. Now I don't really know. Whoops. Looking on this, wow, they have a lot. So I'm doing this. So I'm gonna. Cool. All right. I'm not 100% sure how to do this. See, so you can do this with the ship too. Okay. So hopefully the sound's coming out. And again, like the old one, you can put this on your wrist, but it is definitely meant for a small wrist. So it's kind of a challenge to do. But it's pretty cool. Oh, let's try the Falcon. Since we. Pretty cool. I mean, they do some neat thing. I mean, I think it's hard for me, as an adult, it's hard for me to kind of, fully articulate how I would feel about this, because I do think in a lot of ways, as a child playing with these toys, I would have been really psyched about all this. I really would have. As an adult, it's something that has a neat novelty to it, but at the same time, you're sitting there trying to align it all. It's kind of weird. Now it looks like there's a way for you to kind of add figures, but I'm not 100% sure, how to do that. It's not giving me a lot of... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there we go. I'm adding them as we go, like that. All right. Making weird sounds, but that's all right. I'll just kind of keep that. I'm going to check them off as I get them. Maybe that's part of it. You just kind of add them, so it may not be that way. All right. So now some of these figures I am not going to open up, and the reason I'm not is because I already have them opened up, and I do like keeping some in the package for display purposes. Here's we have Luke Skywalker, but I was curious to see if there's anything new. I don't know if it'll.
I will bring an end to the Jedi Order. Reach out with your feelings.
What else? Come on, give me something. Yeah. I was hoping. What? What? Are you serious? I know that there's no firmware update required.
I will bring an end to the Jedi Order.
Alright. So Luke is cool. Let's try Snoke, because I already have saved this one. Come on, Snoke. Come on, work for me.
I feel a presence. Skywalker lives. We will crush them once and for all. The resistance will soon be in our grasp. We will crush them once and for all.
Pretty cool. Oh, I like that. A little force push. Alright, yay to Snoke. Okay. Very cool with Snoke. I'm going to check off that I have Snoke as well. This makes a lot of noise. There he is. Okay. And what other ones do I not want to open? K2SO. We already have him, so let's see what he does.
I'm K2SO. I'm a reprogrammed Imperial droid. I'm K2SO. I'm a reprogrammed Imperial droid.
Yeah, sometimes I think not having him in the package.
I'm K2SO.
Yeah.
I'm a reprogrammed Imperial droid.
Yes, we know that, K2SO. Okay. Well, like any other tech, it gets a little weird. Also, Maz Kanata, I already have an open package.
I am no Jedi, but I know the Force. I am no Jedi, but I know the Force.
I sometimes...
Get to it. I assume you need something. Desperately.
Yeah, it seems like maybe with the package they give you almost like a demo version. You have to take them out of the package to get the full version, and that's fine, But I'm not too concerned with that. All right, the rest of these. Oh yeah, Leia. Let's
Count me in.
count me in. Is it?
It only takes one to sound the alarm.
Interesting. They're using, this is for those who can see, they're using the Empire Leia, but they're using so far.
Count me in.
They're using Jedi stuff.
Count me in.
Again, I think the package just gets in the way sometimes with that. All right, so that's a good example of some of their stuff. Now let me take Emphy's nest here and put her on the speeder bike next to Han. And unfortunately, the speeder bike. My only complaint about the speeder bike is that it's very tiptoey. It's wobbly. All right, so here we go. We'll do some opening now. Now we got the Range Trooper. I love the Range Trooper. I am real excited about that. Let me just add Leia. Who else was? Oh, and K2SO. There it is. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. The marketing on this, with the idea about the sounds, makes me want to buy the figures, even though I already own a lot of them. But it makes me want to buy them again because it's a cool feature. It's a really cool feature that you can't get with the original ones. So, like any of your other figures don't really work. Okay, my only issue with this is the arm. Wow, his arm does not want to open up. That's weird. Okay, let's try this one.
Trooper TK611 reporting for duty.
Now,
Trooper TK611 reporting for duty. Let's move out.
the only issue.
Trooper TK611 reporting for duty. Light them up. Keep some pressure on them. Weapons ready. Let's move out. Weapons ready. Let's move out.
Ah! Cool. All right. Pretty neat. Gonna mark him off there. Oops, sorry. Wow, there's even toys here and everything. So I don't know if I'll get everything under the. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's do Kira next. So Han has a little friend there. All right, we got, oh god, her little tiny blaster. All right. Again, with these little ones, she doesn't come with a holster. Ooh, that's not good. But let's put her in there. Let's see what happens.
Well, come on then. We've got to get moving. Oh, just let me do it. Now we're going to do it my way. Please tell me you have a plan. Now we're going to do it my way. Please tell me you have a plan.
Okay, pretty cool. I like the young Kira look a little better. I mean, the newer Kira is, where they meet years later. She's a little more classied up. Okay, and now we have the same issue. And again, I know you can get stands for the figures, but we have the same issue with female figures that we have with all female figures, and that's just, the petiteness of the feet and the legs make it easier for them to fall apart. So this is a newer one. This is a series 2. This is Moloch. He has, I'm going to say this, and only a handful of people are going to know what I'm talking about, but he has a definite similarity to characters from the Ewok cartoon series back in the day, in the 80s. Something about it's very similar. That, maybe, and this, it might be, it's either Ewok or George. I think it's Ewoks, though. And he has his little staff here. And yes, thank you, he has a holster. That's what we want, because you can't fit everything in there. And let's just get this. And he's got a flat bottom, so there you go. Easy to stand and wobble, no problem. And lastly, but not least, I'm going to move my Falcon up here. We got Chewbacca with his awesome different kind of strap. Of course, that means you had to get him again because he had a new strap. Love Chewie's story in this. I think Chewie has some great stuff to do in this movie. I love his new blaster. Shout out to another YouTube channel, Cosplay Chris. He doesn't know me. I have no relationship with him. But Cosplay Chris does some great... What he likes to do is he likes to take toys, and he does a lot of cosplaying, so he takes a lot of weapons, and he likes to kind of doctor them up and give them like a huge amount of upgrade, like with repaints and everything to make them like really, really cool. Unfortunately for this little guy, Chewbacca is having a hard time. Oh, that's a little better. Okay, let's try that. He's having a hard time with his weapon. Man, this is like really... Come on, now, get in there. Alright, there you go. Alright, we got the Wookiee roar. Nice. That's... Alright, some cool stuff there. Alright. So Moloch and Chewie, we add them to the list. Moloch and Chewie. And again, I'll include in this, where's Moloch? Oh, there he is. I think that's Moloch. I will include in this video some of the close-ups so you can see them. But overall, really fun, really cool to play with. Neat playability factors, and just a lot of fun. I like the movie. So I'm glad that even though the thing took a little while to get set up, it was worth it. I think it does a little bit of cool stuff here. So we'll see how I'm going to play with it a little bit more, see how things work, and we'll go from there. But I have more. There's more solo toys. I didn't want to get everything in one shot. There's a few more things. There's a land speeder. There's a couple of 2-packs I want to put out there. So we'll get all that out there in future episodes. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Darth Tuba. Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing page on Facebook. Leave comments. Make suggestions. Thank you so much. Be aware that this is not a full-time gig for me. This is not. I'm not a professional YouTuber, so some people are like, "Well, you need to do quick cuts, and you need to do this, you need to do better lighting, and you have to do like really fast anime." Somebody even offered their services as a graphic designer. I'm like, dude, guys, this is great, but I do this for fun. It's something on the side. I'm just doing it to share my love, and anybody who wants to watch it. But if you have things that you think you want to see me try to unbox or take a view of, be aware that I am more than open to those things, and I'll do what I can. So thank you so much. Until next time. I got a good feeling about this. Hey, Star Wars and Unboxing fans. Okay, as I promised, I am now going to announce the winner of the next giveaway, the Solo Dice giveaway. The winner by randomized selection is Hungarian Jedi Nation. So congratulations, Hungarian Jedi Nation. I will need you to either private message or email me at darthtuba77@gmail.com with your address or some contact information so I can mail this wonderful dice gift to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Congratulations, and there'll be another giveaway soon so other people can try again. Thanks so much.